Were the COVID vaccines there to protect us against COVID, or were they used against us as a weapon, a biomass weapon? That is a question that was presented today in court. A question we all deserve to know the answer of. But here comes the thing. The lawyer, Arno van Kessel, who started this case, has been put into confinement, solitary confinement. They went into his house with guns. They blindfolded his family, and they actually arrested him as they do with terrorists. It was a DSI, the special elite police enforcement, that put him into confinement, and they accused him of being a sovereigntist. What is that? A sovereigntist just simply doesn't believe in government institution. And his wife of Arno van Kessel is denying all of those accusations. He says, how can he be a lawyer if he's being accused of a sovereigntist? This case is explosive. It's about representing civilians, citizens that want to know, was I lied to by my government when I took the COVID vaccine? Am I having a ticking time bomb inside of my body? Now, the case that was made by his partner, Peter, is this the case? And it's against Bill Gates, who funded Pfizer. It's against the CEO of Pfizer, Bourla. It's against the Dutch government, leading Mark Rutte, who's now the Secretary General of NATO. So he cannot even be put on trial because he's above the law at this moment. And I had the opportunity to listen to what defendants had to say. So I want to go over it with you. First and foremost, we need to address that he was not even given a fair trial. The lawyer that wants to get the truth out was sentenced to confinement. That means he will not have a fair trial. What is a working democracy without being able to ask those critical questions? Because that's the only mistake that he made. And I want to go over to some of the statements and some of the things that was said. I made some notes about it. First and foremost, this case is about getting the truth out. People want to know what is going on. They're scared for their lives. Even one of the guys that was part of the trials, he died now out of various circumstances that we don't know. It could have been the COVID vaccine. It was also against 2 Dutch journalists, and they have been accused to collude with the Great Reset, pushing out disinformation. It was also against Ursula von der Leyen, that we know she's facing this week the vote of no confidence, and towards the Dutch government, which is strange because if you look at the people that were governing the government during COVID, they all fled away before they could actually be sentenced. They now are given very prominent positions, and they're now above the law. That means that we cannot sentence them. One of them was very in favor of, for example, the lockdowns. He fled to Singapore, where he's now leading a very prominent research organization. What really touched me was when the lawyer that's defending the civilians that fear for their lives said, we just want to get the truth out. And to do that, we need to be able to present our independent experts that are not part of the government. Because the problem is that all of them are saying, we have scientific consensus, but we all know that the scientific consensus has been made by the government to push out a certain narrative. Whether it's based on truth or not, it's a consensus they created, and they want to challenge that narrative. We are in front of a public court, so we have to respect people that are, of course, coming and walking here. The one thing that I really saw were the hundreds of people that gathered outside of the court. During COVID, we were seen as the outcast of society. And the other thing that we want is to have a fair trial. We want to know what the truth is. Those should be fair questions in a working democracy. Now, the court has said we'll have to wait 6 weeks before we even know that this case can go and continue. So we have to wait the results. But it did finish with this one sentence by the lawyer. If we cannot ask these questions, the blood on the hands of Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Ursula von der Leyen, European Commission, even the Dutch government will be on your hands. Those are very, very heavy accusations. What will be the next steps? We don't know yet. But Riks Europe will keep you posted.